underestimate the power of PlayStation.
Beyond. What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Beyond, episode 330. I am one of your hosts, Greg Miller, alongside he only does everything, Colin Moriarty. Hello. How are you?
I'm alright. How are you?
I'm good. I can't complain. We just did a really good Rewind Theater.
Yeah, we did.
Super stoked
Rewind Theater.
They ordered 1886. We'll talk about that soon enough. But more importantly, the baby boys returned. You knew him as the PlayStation powerhouse, then powerhouse,
right.
Now back to the PlayStation powerhouse.
Yes.
Ryan
Hello.
Clements.
Beyond.
Thank
you very much for having me.
Oh my God, we're so excited.
I did not realize we were going to start recording. You just went for it.
That's how
ready.
It's
been
gone
so
for too
long.
I know. You've been at a real professional place too long. You forgot how this
silence
goes.
Humans
my
checking
phone.
levels for 90 minutes. We don't do that.
PlayStation Blogcast. Listen
Yes.
to it.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for the plug.
Okay, so everyone should remember
Okay.
you.
Yes.
You're Ryan Clements.
Maybe not though.
You worked at IGN
You may
forever.
have some new listeners.
We're just losing listeners. We're not gaining any.
bleeding
People are just dying out now.
Oh, no.
People are
Oh,
getting-
no.
Yeah, it's true.
Oh,
A lot of old people. Javi Rodriguez dead.
The prophecies didn't foresee this.
There was no way to tell. How long have you been gone from IGN now?
It's been almost a year, right?
Lord
Let's see
almighty.
Yeah, it actually is. It's actually funny. It's probably like the year anniversary that I left, like coming up within days. So it's very appropriate.
We're happy you're back.
Thank you.
Now
It's
you work
really
at
nice to be
PlayStation.
back. Yes, I do.
What do you do at PlayStation?
So, in the vein of Jeff Rubinstein, an old friend,
Zombie blog neck.
I work on the social media team for PlayStation, which is really just a fancy way of saying that I help run the PlayStation blog and then also help keep up their Twitter and Facebook. And specifically, I also am in charge of their Tumblr, which everyone should check out.
What's that?
There's my little plug. PlayStation.tumblr.com.
You're good.
It's just a collection of fan art and screenshots and
so it's just
developer
and
art.
Dong pics.
No.
Zero dong pics on it.
I'm afraid it's all very family friendly.
Welcome back.
Thank you. I do want to say real quick.
Yeah.
It's so nice, as we were just saying, it was so nice to see all the Beyond fans express their excitement over me coming back, because it's just a blast. I love seeing all you guys.
I thought I made it pretty clear in the tweet, too. One show only, you're back. A lot
Right.
of people were like, oh, he's back at IGN. Like, no, still very much has a job at PlayStation. Nothing has changed there.
And I hope that I can return again as a guest in the future. But yeah, it's just awesome to be here.
Many people excited that you're back.
Thank you.
One of them is Neil.
Hello, Neil.
Neil wrote in and said, hello,
Okay.
Beyond.
Beyond.
I started listening to Beyond after a bad breakup. Beyond was my very first podcast as well. I never went to IGN.com, which pays the bills. Right before Borderlands 2 came out, I wrote in and was hit of the week thanks to Ryan, and that was when Nabster, with a dash, added me.
With a dash.
We played through all Borderlands 2 together. He waited for me to be online again so we could progress through the story. He goes on for a while here. Says they exchanged phone numbers eventually, played all their co-op games together. But then he says, here's where the story gets crazy. Christmas break came around.
Okay.
He starts talking to this kid. All his friends are out of town. He decides he's going to go to Texas the week of New Year's, hang out with this guy he's only met through Beyond, thanks to you doing Hit of the Week.
Okay.
He says, I bought my plane ticket and flew out there and hung out with a guy that I'd only met through Beyond. I met his family and close friends, and we all had a great time hanging out. I finally was able to put some time into Resogun, # Colin was right, and I can't wait for him to be able to come to California. I would still like to thank you all, still like to thank everyone at Beyond for being such a great community of gamers, and thank you even more to my friend that I finally hung out with in person, Nabster. Knabster -.
Awesome.
That's because
Napster with a dash.
Now,
Napster. He didn't want that copyright infringement.
That's a beautiful story.
Yeah.
I was honestly expecting. I thought it was going to end with them being together as a couple.
Me too.
But, then they're just
Or
friends.
someone's
Cool.
killed.
Well, I
Jesus.
certainly hope not.
Welcome back.
You are dark, dark today. Dark humor.
You know who else is excited that you're back?
Me?
Well, you, of
I am
course, all of
excited,
us.
yeah.
Well, the trio is back. The
trio is
original trio that wasn't the original at all.
Well, I didn't think about that.
Yeah,
yet.
it happens.
Yeah.
Fistful of Crafts. You know this young gentleman, Mr.
I do.
Alex?
Of course.
He has written
We talk
in
all the time.
with 2 3-month PlayStation Plus voucher codes to give away throughout the show.
Wonderful.
So you need to keep listening and watching. But, of course, the MP3 goes up on Tuesday and the video goes up on Wednesday. So if you're watching...
You probably missed out.
No, those codes are long gone.
That's so nice of Alex.
Everyone's excited you're
Hi,
here.
Alex.
We love you a lot.
Thank you.
I
I feel loved.
We should.
It's been a good show.
Yep.
Well, thanks
Remember,
for having me
IGN
on.
keeps the bills on. No. This is IGN's PlayStation
IGN keeps
podcast.
the bills on.
The number one. It wasn't the real outro, so I don't have to say the real thing. Professional. I'm gonna get this mic up.
Nothing's changed.
I just remember too. I forgot my Lubriderm. I'm not gonna be able to lube up during this show. I've been
goodness.
lubing up a lot during the show lately.
Okay. Do you
'Cause
have
I can
a dry
just sit
skin
here.
problem?
I do.
Oh.
My skin's just
He puts
dry.
lotion
It hurts.
on his skin and
My
looks right into the camera.
knuckles,
I do.
The knuckles get so dry.
Yeah, man.
know,
It's
right?
cuticles.
Yeah, well, I don't have a problem with the cuticles.
My
mostly.
cuticles are all fucked.
That's nails, right?
You're like right above the nail.
We're
yeah.
the number one PlayStation podcast on the internet. Let's begin the show with what is and forever will be the Roper Report. Time for some news.
There are 9 items on the list. Number 1, PlayStation 4's extraordinary sales pace has continued. Sony revealed that over 5.3 million consoles have been sold to consumers as of a few days ago, and the console hasn't even launched in Japan yet. The Japanese launch is set for February 22nd. My prediction is 500,000 units sold in Japan in 2 days. We'll see how that goes. Of course, Ryan Clements. That's good for you. You got a raise because of it.
How much of a cut of that do you get? Is that how you get to afford all these collared shirts?
I don't know if that's how it works. Please continue.
Interestingly, I was just looking at some numbers now. We often compare the console sales, obviously, between Xbox One and Wii U. PS4 has outsold Xbox One, obviously, but it seems like PS4 is now in the region of having outsold Wii U in about 90 days on the market. Which is interesting. So we'll see how that all kind of shakes out.
Does it feel like it's been longer than 90 days?
Yes.
Feels like I've had that PlayStation 4 longer than that.
It's been 90 days. And
The
for
old
people
ball and chain, I call it.
the old ball.
Do you call it that?
Nah, I love it.
You have it engraved.
Got to turn it the old
It is
ball
engraved.
and chain. Another interesting fact, I was reading, someone linked me to a thread on NeoGAF, the gaming forum.
I heard of them.
Where people, where one guy was putting comparative numbers for PlayStation consoles, and PS4 is outselling all of the PlayStation consoles life to date,
Sure.
including PS2. So that's pretty big.
That's really
Then
big.
again, 3 months in, PS2 is only available in Japan. Number 2. I'm getting ahead of myself.
Oof. Careful.
It's all coming up.
You're just so eager to have me back. Let's all calm down. I'm
Take
nervous.
a
I
deep
got all
breath.
this nervous energy. Beyond.
Okay. Number 2. You nervous?
Well, no, I'm just happy. Just happy to be back. Also, I have to watch what I say.
Yeah? Yeah, then all those beautiful secrets tumble out of your skull.
They tell me nothing.
Number 2. PlayStation 4 was the best-selling console in North America in January and sold nearly double the units that Xbox One did. Unfortunately, Sony didn't get too granular with its statistics, nor did it reveal how PS3 and Vita sold, though Vita sales in particular are reported to be incredibly soft. Maybe people are waiting for that PS Vita Slim, but more likely they don't know that the PS Vita exists at all.
Graham writes in.
Clemens can't laugh at these jokes anymore.
Graham writes into beyond@ign.com. He gave a long letter, as most people do, even though I tell them not to.
Are they still doing that?
Yeah, I know, right? You can even see I started doing like redacting on these things because there was like so many things, so much nonsense information.
Oh,
like
goodness.
Josh, when we get to your question, I cut out an entire paragraph. Just you want to know how Danganronpa is? It's easy enough to. Anyways, Danganronpa. Graham wrote in. He's a dad. He didn't have a PSP. He didn't really see the need, but he's thinking about jumping on the Vita boat now because he's a dad. Has all this like time to kill while the baby's working on uranium. I don't know what babies do.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Working on uranium?
What a baby! How do you keep a baby entertained?
What is it?
You put it
Give
in a
him some-
nuclear reactor, apparently.
No, I
heavy water.
envisioned like a little baby miner.
Yeah.
Like mining uranium.
Pretty much.
With a
I
pickaxe.
thought maybe in like the lab coat,
Oh,
in like
okay.
vials
That's
and
cute.
stuff.
That's cute.
Graham says, I'm concerned that too few people are buying into the console and that it may die out soon. Do you think that remote play can save the Vita, or do you think it will slowly fade away due to lack of interest/support? What do you think, Colin?
I don't know. It's getting tough. You know,
Yeah.
Vita's not. I mean, from what I heard about how Vita sold, it's bad in the West. But it's doing well in Japan, doing very well in Japan, and I hope it doesn't die. I don't think it will because the attach rate on the console is so high. People are buying games, and from what I've been hearing, especially from smaller publishers and developers that talk to me, so their games sell very well. And they make a lot of money on Vita. So. There's people that want to play it, want to buy it, want to buy the games and stuff like that. They just need to propagate more. I think PS4's being the Vita salvation remains to be seen.
The thing with Graham here is that he's not telling us what kind of games he likes, and I think that's what this all comes down to. I do not think the Vita is in any danger of fading away. It's with us the next 5 years, 6 years, right, of whatever they do with it and whatever they put out with it. But I don't know if you're ever going to get another Assassin's Creed or a Madden quality, one-to-one comparison that connects and does all this stuff. But like I was doing this weekend where it's like, I'm in the point now with the Vita is that there's too many games at the moment I want to play on it, right? Like I got that Wise that you tell me so much. That's really good. I like the Wise. The Wise Ease. It's good.
I missed you guys.
I'm still trying to platinum Persona this year, so I'm chipping away at that every time.
Oh, are you working on
that? Yeah.
Okay.
I have a pizza bet.
Platinum it?
We have a pizza bet with Goldfarb.
Are you using the Bet Tracker app from
Mitchell Morgan?
Yeah.
M-Dog?
M-Dog?
Of course not.
Oh.
It's no fun if I actually remember the bets.
If you remember
the bet is, I don't know how we do the bet anymore, because the bet was that I have all year to platinum it, right?
Okay.
If I platinum it, me, Goldfarb, and Christine have a pizza party, and we're the Persona Platinum Club.
Yeah.
If I don't platinum it...
Do they both have platinums?
They do.
Wow.
If I don't platinum it, they get to eat a pizza in front of me, while I don't get to eat anything.
Okay. Well, wait, can you not have dinner that night?
No, no dinner for me. Well, I mean, there was no
maybe
real...
have a sandwich.
Maybe a yogurt.
A yogurt.
Yeah. Not as satisfying as a pod cheese pizza.
Well, of course.
But now with Goldfarb moving away, I don't know what we do about that.
Can't believe it. Do you feel his the void already?
I think it's. I think. Well, hold on. Is it on here?
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
The
I'm
news
jumping ahead.
Do you have the Irrational stuff on here? Okay, then.
You want to ruin that like you ruin all the other news?
Pretty much. Like, I like having a conversational podcast. You like having a rigid thing and getting all passive aggressive when I talk about news story. But yeah, today was a weird day, right? The studio Goldfarb loves above all else, the franchise that he loves above all else, closes. It's like, we're not going to be what you want anymore, and Goldfarb's still probably asleep. Not even awake yet. Doesn't even know.
He's probably awake.
Drunk?
No.
I would
not
imagine.
At this time.
If
He's
it was
still drunk from last night.
If I was an unemployed Tuesday kid, drunk. So, yeah. I don't think the Vita's going anywhere. I think that it might not have the kind of games you want, but like you're talking about, there's all these. It's still selling well in Japan, so there's a lot of games that are Japanese influenced on it.
It's selling very well in Japan. Last year, it was the only hardware in Japan that was up year over year. The only one. There's an interesting factoid for you. Moving on.
Little tidbit.
Number 3. Still getting housed by the 3DS though.
Yeah.
Number 3.
Got that Mario.
PS4's. It's got something. It's got Zelda. That was pretty good. Number 3.
The Donkey Kong.
It's got the Donkey Kong. I might not have the Donkey Kong. I don't know.
No, there's a Donkey King. There's a Donkey King.
I will say, in regards to the Vita, it is there have been several amazing games that have come out for it recently that like just totally take me by surprise. Like, are we getting to Danganronpa?
We sure can. Josh writes in and says, I was just wondering if Colin could give quick thoughts on Danganronpa for the Vita. I personally am hooked on it, as I think it's a great mixture of Phoenix Wright and Virtue's Last Reward with a dash of Persona mixed in. Colin, you've been playing Danganronpa for a while.
For like 3 months.
You've been talking in hypotheticals about how you enjoyed it.
Yeah,
it came out last week. You're still working on your review, correct?
Yeah, I got a review. I'll review it this week. I'm like 75% through the game now.
That's a hefty game.
It's just I had it in December and I just haven't not had time to really play it.
A lot of Vita games.
There's just a lot of games.
Yeah,
it's hard to get through them all.
I like it a lot.
Yeah.
It's really, really good.
Yeah.
Awesome. There's some issues with it, I think, but I even like the the English voice acting and the characters and.
Is there a Japanese language track on that one?
Apparently there is, but I haven't even tried it yet.
Okay,
I don't know that for sure.
You're happy with English?
Yeah, I was reading. I never changed it. I preferred the English voice acting. I do that with
Here we go. The old Ryan v. Ryan fight's breaking out. Put on your brass knuckles.
So it's always one of the things I check. I'm like, is it an option to do this? I guess so. I don't know. I'll look. But I've enjoyed the game thoroughly. How have you enjoyed it as well?
I haven't even touched it yet.
Really?
But I'm also bringing it up because at the I think Vince was at the NIS America event recently. Is everything okay, Greg?
Everything's great.
Okay.
I just turned the camera thing so we can see what's happening. Because if I don't see it, something could go wrong.
I was just going to say Vince was at the NIS America event, and they already announced. I mean, it must have had a good success because they've already announced a sequel to it, which is set on a tropical island environment, which is pretty amazing.
Danganronpa and Tropical Freeze.
Nope.
Monokuma is an awesome character. I love how the game's actually really dark, and but also for people that don't know what it's about. Trigger Happy Havoc specifically is about kids that go to a high school and they're all the best at something.
The ultimate fashionista.
Yeah, the ultimate baseball player, the ultimate, or the ultimate computer scientist, like all this. The ultimate fanfic author is one of them.
Yeah.
No way. Oh, I love it.
And they all go to this school, but they end up trapped at the school, and the only way to get out is to murder one of their classmates without being caught. So there's these
dark premise right off the bat. Yeah.
Right. So it's like half the game, or really 75% of the game, is like exploring the schools and stuff. Then you and you talk to everyone, you meet everyone, you know everyone. But then you discover a body, and then you investigate the crime, and then you go to trial, and you have to prove who did it. and it's like really, really good. Like I really like it a lot.
It's one. I know, right? Like I'm going to download it, but it's just like, when am I going to play it? You know what I mean? I'm sick of doing this thing where on the Vita I'm cherry picking, where I'm like 20 minutes of this game, 20 minutes of this game, 20 minutes. I need to commit, Colin.
Yeah, commit to Danganronpa. I think it's really, really good, and I agree. Like the fact that NIS greenlit the sequel before the game even really came out is a great sign that they were seeing strong pre-order numbers. Apparently, it's impossible to find at retail because they've sold through all of their retail copies. They probably only printed 20 or 30,000, but obviously digital sales are strong. Half of the people that buy games on, or half the games sold on PSN or Vita are PSN games. So, we'll see how it goes.
Okay.
But yeah, very, very good. I recommend it. The review will go up this week, I promise. And I'm sorry that I'm late on that. Full plate right now.
Don't apologize.
Would you rather have the order, or would you rather preview, or would you rather have a Danganronpa Vita?
Well, the order preview finally proved you're an Xbot, so
right.
I think
that's what everyone's telling me on Twitter today. Yeah. It's quite the conspiracy.
You can't criticize.
I favorited your tweet about.
Thanks about the national debt. It's just like why
bring everybody up to speed. Not everybody reads the site.
All right,
and keeps
so
up
let's just talk about the order.
All right, sounds good.
I saw Clemens last week, by the way.
Yeah,
we were at the order event.
Oh, so this means nothing to you?
No. Not at all.
What?
And then he invited me to dinner, but I turned him down. That's actually not true. I invited Clements to dinner, but he was going out to dinner with Sony, so we had to go our separate ways.
Well, I actually didn't know right up until the last minute. I'm sorry, by the way, I called you like 4 times in a row because we were trying to figure it out.
I'm not coming.
Wait, hold on, I don't know. Anyway, continue.
So we saw at this Santa Monica event, we saw a bunch of games, and we already wrote about MLB 14, the show, which I think is really the prettiest PS4 game I've really seen running. Beautiful game. And we saw Infamous Second Son, which fucking looks rad as hell. We'll have our hands on that soon, hopefully. And then we saw some smaller games. That was one. Spikes looks awesome. Mercenary Kings looks awesome. Towerfall's really good. Helldivers is the shit. Love that game. Love that game. Everything about it. I just love how brutal it is. It's totally. I played it. By the way, played that in Germany. Did pretty well, but had to get back into it. Lasted about 30 seconds the first time I played it in Santa Monica with a team of 4 people. But we saw the order, and I don't know, Clemens, how much you can talk about this. I don't want to put you in a corner or anything like that. But
I put him in a corner. He fights like a badger.
I will let you know if I can't comment on anything.
But I was unimpressed with how the game ran. Now a lot of people are giving me shit about this because the game is 7 or 8 months out. Ready at Dawn was very clear that this game hasn't been optimized or QA'd. But I was concerned that this was the best they had to show for a game that's been in development for almost 4 years. That's supposed to come out this year. And a lot of people are mad at me about this on Twitter, but I'm just trying to give you my honest impression. I walked out of there and I was like, it's a third-person shooter. It's cover-based. It looks like Gears of War. It's beautiful, absolutely stunningly beautiful game. Really cool alternate history slant, really cool setting, really cool characters. Love all of that. Was just confused that that's the part of the game they showed, and that was the state of what they showed.
You kept bringing up the interesting point of the E3 Last of Us demo,
right? And that was when we saw The Last of Us at E3 in 2012, when they dropped the controller and walked off the stage at the end. Think about the state that game was in at that time. Now, obviously, the whole game wasn't in that state. They take vertical slices, they QA, and they optimize and make it look really good. This was a year before The Last of Us came out, and that was stunning. And by the way, that wasn't a linear kind of walkthrough of a game. You could actually play that in different ways, and we did. And we saw it played in different ways. And I thought about that over and over again when I was in that room watching the demo they showed us, because I was like, how is this, like, The Last of Us was further out, and the order is in this condition, and this is the best that you have to show, and so that was concerning to me. But a lot of people just read only that part of the preview and not all the other glowing praise I heaped on the game. But that's their prerogative. I'm not going to lie to you. I have to tell you what I saw.
Right.
So.
Well, this goes back to what we always talk about, right? And as far as what objectivity is in this industry, right? As far as a video game journalist, quote unquote, it's just the fact that your assignment, your beat is PlayStation, so everyone accuses you of being a PlayStation fanboy, so they can't, the haters can't take your review seriously. So you're critical of a PlayStation game, and now suddenly you know nothing about PlayStation, and you're a hater. You know what I mean?
Not only that, but it's not even concerning. I understand people are upset that the game might not be in great shape or disagree with me because a lot of the gameplay is leaking online, and the game looks great. What I saw looked good, but you can even see in the gameplay, at least the B-roll we got, that the game's not running well, and. That's not a secret. I didn't walk out of that room and just write this in a vacuum. 2 other people from the site were in the room with me and all had the same thoughts. So,
well, they're all Xbots too.
Right, exactly.
You can't trust Vince Ingenito.
I guess I'll give people a little.
Is he here today?
Yeah,
he's here somewhere.
Under a desk.
I'll give people a little. I'll give people a little peek behind things. Here we go. Behind the curtain, as it were.
The Iron Curtain.
We are privy to and see a lot of games before they come out, right? And some of the games are years out, some of the games are a few months out. Some of the things we can talk about, some of the things we can't. Some of the things we're just shown because people want to show us. Some of the things we're allowed to write about. I've been doing this for a while, right? Like, I know a thing or two about video games and about, I don't make games, but I know the development cycle and how games come together. And even The Last of Us is a great example of a game that Naughty Dog claims just wasn't in good shape until a month before it came out. So we have to give these studios the benefit of the doubt, right?
Yeah.
But when I think about seeing some of these, like the E3 demo even of Infamous. I played Infamous at E3. It was awesome. It ran great. It was this big sliver of the city. Now, obviously, the whole game didn't run like that. We've seen game time and time again when we brought The Last of Us up. God, I even saw Until Dawn, which no one even knows what the hell that game is right now. That game's just disappeared off the map. We saw that running, remember, a couple of years ago when we were at Comic-Con together. And
PlayStation erased Ryan's memory.
I said it just blank slate.
And I guess what I'm saying is, like, people are like,
that.
you're ignorant of development, you're ignorant of the status of the game. No, I'm not. I'm confused why a studio would put a product forward that isn't optimized to be seen. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because that isn't common. And I understand that people don't understand that because they don't get to see what we get to see a lot. But I'm telling you, when Sucker Punch showed Infamous behind closed doors at E3 last year, it was in good shape.
Right.
And it's still not out. You know what I mean?
I guess, I get it. I mean, I understand. I mean, previews especially are the most true reporting I think we do as far as reviewers, right? Reviews are totally, this is my experience with the game, this is how I feel about it. There's no, grading scale to give you. There's no, scientific method to reviewing a video game, and that's why scores can vary so much. No. You were probably better at it than me. But for previews, you're literally standing in for the reader, reporting on what you see. And that's why people get so bent out of shape about, oh, you're just, writing a book report. Or, oh, the preview method of telling you exactly what happened in a demo is so trite. Well, it is, but it's also, I'm trying to do it for the reader who can't come to E3 or can't come to the Sony event and can't, you know what I mean? They come to this thing, they need to know what's happening. You're trying to give them your impressions of what you saw or what it was. You're trying to report on what you see.
Right, exactly. And I don't understand, I have my only agenda is to tell you my honest opinion about what I saw. That's it,
Yeah.
If you want to disagree with it, that's fine, but the fact is you were not in that room, and I understand that a lot of other people are writing about it in different ways, and that's fine because everyone's also entitled to have their own opinions and their own viewpoint about what they saw. But I know that, the three of us that went from our site all felt the same way about what we saw. And it wasn't that I was underwhelmed or didn't expect, I knew it was a third-person shooter. I knew all those things. This is the third time I've even been with Ready at Dawn to see their game before, E3 and then Gamescom. It's just, I was just confused by that. This is really the first time anyone's seeing it. So you'd think you'd want to optimize it. You'd think you'd want to. And if it's not optimized and it's not QA'd, that tells me that they can't afford to, and I'm not saying monetarily, but time-wise, cannot afford to take resources away from the game to do that, which means that they're really crunching on this game. And I would not be surprised if this game did not come out this year.
Yeah.
Based on what I saw. Now, whether or not that's true or not, whether or not they just don't, some studios are very reluctant to show anything. Some studios don't care about that kind of thing. They want to work on the game. They care about the final product, and that's it. But Sony's very savvy, and we worked for them for a long time, and they don't show games until they're ready. And so if that was the state of readiness of the order, then I had to bring up those questions. That's my duty. You know what I mean? So that's all I was trying to do. But some people, my job. Someone tweeted us something very, very startling to me. Sorry, someone tweeted something very startling to you and me, which is why is there a PlayStation team at IGN? You guys don't have the balls to stand up for Sony, and that was really concerning to me because that's not my job.
Yeah.
My job is to tell you the truth, not to stand up for Sony. I don't work for them.
That's
I don't care.
But I mean, that's not the people we're talking to on Beyond, right? The people on Beyond get it. I think they understand what our roles are and what a PlayStation team is. It's the haters who don't read or consume the site, right, on a regular basis. I think that don't understand what the teams were, which don't exist anymore. Obviously, PlayStation's your beat, but yeah, you're paid to write about PlayStation, to have these connections, to know things, to have sources. But it's not that you're paid to wave the PlayStation flag.
No, in fact,
we do a lot usually because PlayStation makes a lot of good stuff. Like Danganronpa.
Yeah,
I love how you say that.
That's a Spike Chunsoft game, but I I wanted to bring up one last thing, because we talked about it a little bit. With a lot of people were mad, not necessarily at us, but just generally about Aliens, Colonial Marines, right? About how the previews didn't capture necessarily the essence of what the game actually was. Now, I never wrote a preview for Aliens, but I did go to a preview event for that game, and the game looked actually really awesome when I saw it. So these things are tricky sometimes, right? And it goes both ways. The Order might be in bad shape because they just don't have the time, but the final product might be great. And Ready at Dawn is a fantastic studio. It's a great pedigree and a really nice idea for a game, and I really am excited about it. But these people were very upset that previews weren't candid enough for them, and that they wanted more, less neutrality, less of an agnostic point of view in the preview, and to say, like, we have a real opinion about what we're seeing right now. And we used to give people, I think, generally in the industry and at IGN, the benefit of the doubt. We have to be neutral. We don't quite know what the final product's going to be. But
there's still 6 months till release, and I bet they'll be able to pull it together,
right, exactly.
Say that kind of crap.
But that's useless, right? That's useless to me. That's useless to the reader. That's useless to my bosses. That's useless to the developer. That's useless to everybody. I got to call it the way I see it, and we really feel very passionately about that. So I was just really surprised about some of the comments I was getting when everyone felt so burned by previews because of that, because of Aliens, Colonial Marines. And now a preview is really, just trying to tell you what I saw. And I hope that when we see the game at E3, that it's really cleaned up. So that's
Zachary
just what
writes in about something like this. He says, ever since your review of Beyond Two Souls, I've had a question nagging at me. After reading his Colin piece on the Order 1886, it reminded me of the question. Do you guys ever feel that your view of a game changes due to the fact that you're gaming journalists? Do you get overhyped sometimes for games because of a demo that you see or talking to the developers? Whereas if you were just an average gamer, your views on games may be a little more open. I actually went the other way. Like, I'm more in line with what you're saying. I remember in Justice Gods Among Us, when they revealed that at the pre-E3 judges thing, me and there was 3 other IGN editors were there, and we were like, what the fuck is this? Like, you know what I mean? Like, Superman's punching Batman and not killing him, but there's no fatality. It was like, this is stupid. This sounds dumb. And we wrote a preview that was basically scratching our heads, right? None of us were fighting games fans, so we couldn't sit there and talk to the mechanics of that. But it was like, why would I back up to a car and use a car when there's a car right there? I would know that's a trap. Don't go there. And similar when I saw Batman Arkham Asylum for the first time. Rocksteady came in. Nobody knew who they were. This is the first time we're seeing the game, and there's been so many bad Batman games that I was burned so many times that I'm watching this completely disjointed demo that went from sneaking around in the shadows to being a button mashing, like that I couldn't play. They weren't letting us play it. Button mashing, one button to reverse thing, and we left that room. And Gaius was like, that looked really good. That game looks really good. I'm like, I don't know what the hell I just saw. Like, I'm not going to go out on a limb and say that game looks great. You know what I mean? Like, there's plenty of times of it going both ways, I think, where you're like, we are like, oh man, I can't wait to see, Game X looks awesome. Then we get Game X where you're like, oh man, just that part was awesome. They never fixed this, or the other. And then there's other things where you're like, that game looks like crap. And then it's like, oh no, that game's actually really good. And I don't think he's asking if our opinions are different because of us, somebody on the inside of the industry versus an average Joe. I think the only way our opinions, no offense, should be more informed, right? It's our job that every day for 8 hours, this is what you're doing, let alone when you go home and troll gaff or whatever, trying to find out more stuff.
Yeah, I think, I'm in agreement with you in the sense that I don't really get hyped about anything. I mean, like, I honestly, the last game I was like running around excited about was Mega Man 10. I mean, that was like the last game
you were just running in a circle.
I was so excited about that game, right? But like, I get excited. I love games, and I get excited about games, but I don't get caught up in the hype. I actually think our coverage of Beyond Two Souls vindicated us, because we were saying for a long time that game wasn't good.
Yeah, we all had problems with it.
And it wasn't. So there's evidence, where, and I'm looking at Ryan, I know he can't say anything about these things, but
I still like when you look at me though.
Yeah, well, I'll just continue to do that then. So it's just, we have to just call like we see it. I feel a great bond and a great, I feel like I owe it to the readers to be as honest and forthright about everything as I possibly can, whether it's a review or a preview or a news article or a feature or an editorial, whatever it might be. You guys are the only ones I owe anything to, and there's no agenda. Like what could my agenda possibly be to tear the Order down? It doesn't even make any sense, like that doesn't even make any sense.
You never liked God of War, so now you're just taking it out on them.
Right. That's exactly right. So like, I hope, I always say, and I always feel that when I give a game a bad preview or a kind of a mediocre preview or a tepid preview, I always hope I'm wrong, because I want every game to be good, and with the Order, I really hope I'm wrong, I hope that game doesn't only come out this year, but that it fucking murders, because I want to be excited about that. I want to play it. I want to see more. But we just got to call it like we see it. And much like with Beyond Two Souls, where we were really confused about that game in preview coverage and really didn't understand it, well, it turned out to be parlayed into the final product. And so, we'll see how that goes. But I was just a little concerned about that because I'm just trying to be honest. I'm not trying to, and I want us to all be on the same page as far as our readers and the writers and the editors and everyone, that we're kind of all in it together. We're trying to serve you. We're not trying to feed you anything.
Yeah. I think the majority of kids get that.
Yeah.
I hope the microphone can't pick up my stomach growling because I don't know how I got this hungry.
Where are we going to go eat? It's the Roper Report. It makes you hungry.
I know, it does. Wait, what number are we on?
Number 3.
this podcast.
I'm sorry you can't.
3 hours
Do you have
long.
any opinion on the order? Can you talk to me? You saw it.
I actually didn't because
really?
Sid was in that demo. I was
okay.
in the indie area playing those games.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I have a lot of faith in Ready at Dawn, as you said. They're an amazing developer. They did amazing work with God of War. So
yeah.
Calliope, why have you forsaken me? Number 3.
Your son has
Do you remember when I was so just over the moon about when I was on YouTube and I saw the Spanish language version of God of War?
Yeah.
I never forgot that. That was so fun. I wanted it so bad.
It's good stuff.
Gaia. Hola, Kratos. That's not what it was, but that's how I remember
That'd
it.
be awesome if that's what it was. Number 3. PS4's new firmware is now live. Update 1.61 is mandatory update and improves DVD playback quality, adds more headset support, allows muting of the PlayStation camera's mic, and improves software stability.
As always.
Yeah. I love that. Improves software stability. Okay. Good. Number 4. Square Enix has revealed that Final Fantasy 15 is, quote, quite far into development, end quote, and has been given a, quote, very high priority within the company, end quote. It is being developed alongside Kingdom Hearts 3. Neither game has a release date window or even a year as of yet.
Where were the quotes from? Do you know?
An interview. Yeah.
Entertainment
All right.
Tonight.
Entertainment Weekly.
Entertainment, yeah. I hope Final Fantasy 15 is quite far into development since it's been technically in development for like 8 years.
Did you play the most recent one? The Final Fantasy that just came out the other day? 13?
Oh, Lightning Returns?
Whatever, yeah.
I played Lightning Returns before it came out. I have not played the final game.
You still into those games?
I've been playing other games, I'll say.
I don't like that one bit.
Oh, you don't like it?
No.
Why not? Don't you like the intrigue?
Other games you can't tell us about is what that sounds like.
Oh no, just I've been playing a lot of Hearthstone.
Oh!
The WoW card
People
game.
talk about that all the time.
It's really good.
Can I play it on the iPad?
I don't believe so.
Can I play on the
think
Vita?
You can play on PC. I have as a kind of long time Magic the Gathering fan.
Sure.
I have been really enjoying it.
Yeah, a lot of people in the office are super into it.
Yeah.
You must be excited about Monster Monpiece on PlayStation Vita then. That's a card game.
Okay.
It is.
Is that the one where you rub off the clothes?
I don't think I know it.
It's a somewhat inappropriate game. I can show you videos of it later.
Please do.
It's an Idea Factory card game, but with really scantily clad girls, and you rub the screen to take their clothes off. It's really ridiculous. I don't even understand why it exists. Number 5.
Okay, we're making progress.
Famed developer Irrational Games, the studio behind the BioShock series, is essentially no more. And a letter penned by studio founder Ken Levine, all but 15 employees have been laid off as the studio refocuses on smaller, narrative-driven games available at digital only. Whether the company he will lead for Take-Two will keep the Irrational name or not is unclear. Our very best goes out to everyone that is affected by this news. Very sad news. Very talented studio.
How do you feel about it? What do you? It's been talk of the town today on Twitter, in the news, in the article, in the comments, all that stuff. Everybody's got something to say about it.
It's not surprising because BioShock Infinite took so long to come out. It sold well, but probably not well enough to justify how much money they spent on making that game. It took them years. Years and years to make that game. With that said, I'm surprised that they weren't given another shot to do something else. Or maybe they didn't want another shot. Maybe Ken Levine just doesn't want to do that anymore. But BioShock seems to have some cachet with people, and so I would like to see more in that universe. And I assume, based on what has been said, that BioShock will continue with another studio.
Kind of like BioShock 2.
Right, exactly. So I'm not surprised by the fact that it happened because of the financial ramifications of making a game like that and making a game that long and stuff like that. But it still sucks because they're very talented. That's a very talented group of people, and now they're split up. And I'm sad about that, but I assume all these people will land very quickly at other places.
Yeah, I know this is, again, we're talking about being outsiders or maybe not understanding development or whatever. That is a different side of our business that we aren't involved in. But we talk about this kind of stuff all the time, right? A game is coming out, it's happening, they ramp up their staff, and then they, cleave it down to what it needs to be for pre-production on the next game. So it's not super. I didn't find it like crazy today that they let all these people go, right? Like, because if you're not working on a next project, I understand what are you going to do. You know what I mean? Let alone the fact that now you actually want to change your vision to be this downloadable game thing. You want to make smaller narrative experiences. I don't think that these people have problems. Seeing as how like already today there's a million things up there, but it also seems that that's just the transient nature now of the job of making video games, right?
Yeah,
that you're on a team, it gets late. I mean, how many people do you know, with the exception of David Ballard, who are at like a company forever, right? Like, I mean, it's people come and go and do a million different things.
It's sad in the sense that I don't know if you guys agree, but I was actually more surprised that Irrational didn't have another game in the pipe. You know, like because BioShock Infinite came out almost a year ago, so. The fact that
DLC, bro.
Yeah, I know they're working on the DLC and stuff, but the fact of the matter is that they like kept that entire staff together for a year almost after that game came out with nothing. You know, like not everyone can be working on that DLC, so that's actually what surprised me the most. Was
I mean, Burial at Sea, there's 2 parts to it, and the first part was fairly hefty. I don't know, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not, again, I'm not on that side of the industry, but I mean, it was, you know, moving around, especially the second part that's still coming up where you play as Elizabeth. That's completely reinventing your mechanics. I'm sure there's some stuff to do.
Sure, but I wonder, you know, based on the small team that made something like Left Behind for The Last of Us, it can't take all of the resources that it took to make, you know, they have the assets they have. So, like, I guess what I'm saying is, like, there's more to this story, I think, in terms of, like, maybe they were going to do something else. Maybe there's something, you know, maybe
no word on what's happening in that BioShock Vita game. Is that what you've been playing?
No.
Number 6, Yoshinori Kitase, the director of Final Fantasy VII.
Kitase-san
admitted that he, quote, would love to, unquote, remake or HDI's the classic game, but noted that it would be very difficult, much more difficult than people think. Quote, you must believe me when I say it would take a lot to happen, end quote. He said in part, noting that there would be both budget and staff issues. He also says his personal motivation to do it is a major factor, but he doesn't rule out the possibility of it happening. I guess they don't like money.
I hate it.
Number 7, Kingdom Come Deliverance is officially coming to PlayStation 4 as well as Xbox One. The medieval RPG, which was kickstarted, was originally announced and confirmed for PC, but will now be making the jump to console. That game looks really cool.
I can't stand that they call it Kingdom Come, because every time I see it go down the IGN blog roll, I think somebody's making a Kingdom Come video game from the DC Comics, but it ain't.
You're probably the only one that thinks that.
Gosh darn nerd Dungeon and Dragon.
I don't know that there's like DC Comics.
Yeah, it was the Alex Ross miniseries, the one that's painted, the one about like, you know, Superman comes back.
Oh, okay.
He's been gone.
But it's a Superman comic.
Well, it's a Justice League thing. Everybody's involved.
Justice League.
Yeah.
Okay.
Altano's had my absolute version for years. You can take it from him today. I demand you read
Does
it.
he just have it at his desk?
Yeah, of course he does.
Oh, all right.
Stupid idiot.
Oh, come on now.
It's true.
You guys love each other.
I know. More than we should. That's how it works at IGN. You love everybody more than you should.
You know, I just had a quick flashback. I'm sorry. I'm going to derail us real quick. Do you remember when we were at the Subway event for, I think, Uncharted, and you, like, passed the sandwich between us?
Yeah, we took, like...
I still laugh at that. I think of that. I think of Collins. Was it... Wait.
I had, like...
Was it Cheryl's
like
sunglasses?
I thought it was, like, Jen Howitt's or somebody like that.
It was like some woman's sunglasses. I don't know where we got them. Yeah, it was probably Jen's or Alyssa's or something.
Why would she be there, though?
She was there, wasn't she?
No.
I don't think so.
Really?
Yeah.
I could have sworn.
Yeah. I want to. You guys remember this thing? I remember it like it was yesterday.
Also, I don't know who was there,
Cheryl
where we
was
were.
the sandwich artist of the day. No, I remember that. That was awesome. It was Uncharted. We were gonna go play the Uncharted beta thing there or whatever, right? Yeah. We did a conversation there, and we had to do 17 takes of me shoving a sandwich into your face.
In between our faces. Yes.
Those were the days.
Tasty.
We didn't have to do that, but we did.
Yeah. Well, we wanted to deliver nonsense, as we often
deliver
do.
a $5 footlong right to my face.
Urinal sandwich.
Number 8.
Hey, I put teriyaki sauce on it. I hope that's okay.
What you want on your sandwich?
I still remember David Clemens telling the story about how he asked the guy, like, if they had any gluten-free option, and he's like, all these meats are gluten-free. And Clemens like, great, thanks. I'll just take the pile of
Can I have a
then.
pound of roast beef? Don't slice it.
Number 8. PS3 is getting a couple of new RPGs. NIS has revealed that it'll be bringing 2 Japanese titles, Fairy Fencer F and Battle Princess of Arcadius, to the West, exclusively on PlayStation 3. Fairy Fencer F is a turn-based RPG. That game looks really good, actually. Battle Princess of Arcadius is a somewhat rough-looking side-scrolling RPG. I think Battle Princess of Arcadius didn't do very well, actually, in Japan. I think Fairy Fencer F did. So we'll see how that all goes.
It's cool to see a developer and publisher like NIS supporting PlayStation, but also I just love going to their events because they are such a small. I said they're a small and spunky team in my write-up, and I think that's like a pretty apt description. Did I say something
Yeah, you're getting in trouble now.
Oh yeah, did I?
No, this is nothing to do with you.
So yeah, but I was at that event with Vince, and it was cool. They so cater to that very specific type of gamer, and I
Good for them.
for that.
Yeah, they're awesome.
Yeah.
And we were at home. Like, I had known about these game announcements for a while beforehand, and they gave me all the information in the embargo time.
My.
And so I was so excited, especially for Danganronpa 2, because I was so excited that people were finally, like, there was a lot of hype for that game. Contextually for a Vita game. And
It's like 3 people were like,
Yeah.
Danganronpans.
I bet you
Rampins.
Danganronpans.
That's how they say it, not me.
Sure.
Well, let's not get ahead of ourselves.
The three people.
Danganronpans.
Okay, there it is.
Danganronpans.
but Witch in 100 Night, by the way, comes out soon. That game looks really good. We have a build of it, and I'm really excited about that. And hopefully they have more coming up soon. They alluded to a PS4 game.
That is a fun premise, by the way. I didn't actually know what the premise of Witch in the 100 Night were until I did the write-up for the PlayStation blog, and so I was just kind of doing a quick recap. It's like hilarious. It's like these witches are having this like feud, and it sounds super. What's the word for when it's over silly things? Like it's trivial.
Yeah.
It's a trivial feud, but that's the entire game takes place around that. And I
You
thought
could
that was
say
really fun.
it's a trivial pursuit.
Get out of here. Demon Gaze comes out soon too, and I think that game looks really, really good too.
You're a fan of old school first person dungeon crawlers, right?
Yeah, it doesn't necessarily have to be first person, but I like like Shadowgate style kind of stuff is obviously good, but
I don't think those kind of games ever clicked with. I don't know what it is. Maybe I love seeing the characters that you're playing, but I play first person shooters, so I don't know.
I'm
why.
with you. It's like when
So
I
you
played
don't know what you're
when I
saying.
did Skyrim. When I did Skyrim, I played it in third person.
Oh, did
Even
you?
though
Okay.
it looks clunkier, but it's like I want to see that character. That's
You
part
want to
of
see
it
that
for me.
sweet armor?
See that sweet
that Khajiit armor
that Taylor
you got?
Swift armor I was rocking.
Oh,
yeah,
Were you Taylor Swift
of
in
course,
that too?
of course.
Was it a human? Or
Yeah,
did,
oh yeah.
Okay.
I'm never gonna be one of these lizard people.
So in a fantasy game, do
Yeah.
you ever play as a race outside of like whatever the human option would be?
Incredibly rarely, and if I do,
Okay.
they usually look like humans.
Yeah. I'm gonna try and make this as human looking
Pretty
as
much,
possible.
yeah.
Why is that?
I was thinking,
Because humans are cool. Not these
Wasn't
damn
it-
horse people.
wasn't it here? Didn't we do it with Mass Effect? Not that you can make a non-human character in that game, but didn't we make the characters like so ugly? Didn't we do that in a video or something like that, where like the character's just horrific looking and
I
like
think-
serious scenes?
And that's what Hillary did for all his reviews.
Serious.
I think it was Pinky Shepherd or something
yeah,
like
so
that.
like serious scenes are like
no, not at all. Because I remember it was Queenie Shepherd.
Queenie
and it was
Shepherd.
this beautiful black woman.
Okay.
And that was his. He was so proud of it.
What am
so
I
it
thinking
was
of though? Because I'm just
definitely-
thinking of like
It was not an ugly
What if
character.
I'm a full-blown racist and we're thinking of I'm not.
I'm just thinking of like the dramatic carapan, the music, like talking to the about the collectors or something. It's just
Did Nate
fucked
do it?
up. Yeah, maybe it was
It was
Nate.
Nate for his guide or whatever.
No, but because Nate had the character that looked like him.
Nate,
and
but
that's
I
what
do remember this. I do remember that somebody had a hideous
I know what you're talking about.
I
though.
remember my character when I was doing the guide for Mass Effect and Mass Effect 2 was unintentionally looked like Nate. Do you guys remember that?
Yeah.
I made a character that looked like Nate, but I didn't mean to. It's weird. Number 9. Vita is also getting some new games. NIS has confirmed that it'll be localizing Danganronpa 2, Goodbye Despair, and Disgaea 4's Vita port for Western release in 2014. Additionally, Mousecraft, a game that fuses Tetris and Lemmings, and Risk of Rain, a roguelike platformer, have also been confirmed for Vita.
I'm a huge Risk of Rain fan, by the way.
Are you?
Yes, I love Risk. I wasn't just joking.
No.
I am a huge Risk of Rain fan. I love that team. It's such a cool success story because it was. I'm pretty sure that it was about 2 guys that did that game. One like on art and and the other on coding and design and stuff. And it's really fun.
Who is tightening up the graphics?
What's that?
Tighten up the graphics on level 3.
I don't know. I don't really understand the question. Like
Sorry, it was
who
kind
of
of
the
a
two of them?
I just love that. Is that from like Grandma's Boy or something, or what is
Something
that?
stupid like that. It was some.
Where they're like tighten up the graphics.
I thought it was like a
on.
video of like how to get into games or something.
Squeaky.
Clements,
Yes. Hello.
I'm gonna download that Danganronpa tonight. But I'm more excited for Danganronpa 2.
Okay. Goodbye
So if I
Despair.
wanted to know though
Great
what came out this
subtitle.
week, where would I go?
You could go to the official list of upcoming software for. Is it all three PlayStation platforms by the IGN
You don't even know what you're
entities?
saying. You don't even know where.
I like how you
what's
put
going
it in official.
I'm not officially representing it.
That doesn't matter. Now here's a question we need. Oh, and then you have to do your song.
Do, 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 do.
There you go. I still do that for you.
Thank you.
Here's. We haven't talked about this yet, Colin. So I'm dropping a megaton on you.
Whoa.
Clements, I'd like your counsel.
Okay.
Okay.
I hope I can help.
It's like you're Tusk, and I'm the president, and you're the vice president.
In what? I'm Tusk?
Yeah.
Is that House of
It's a House of Cards reference.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
tossing out for everybody.
I've only seen one episode.
God, it's so good. I finished
know,
it last
I've
night.
heard.
I finished last
Don't
night, season
spoil
2
it.
last
Don't
night.
spoil it.
Let's just say assassination is on the menu.
Assassination?
It'll make sense when you get to the end.
Assassination.
What the fuck does that mean?
Since we took control of the show,
Yeah.
when someone leaves the show,
Assuming control.
Harbinger assuming control, we name a segment after him.
Right.
Right, we got Ryan's wrap up. We got the Roper report. People are asking for a Goldfarb segment. Should we rename the official list to be a Goldfarb segment?
The
Goldfarb's-
Andrew Goldfarb memorial list of upcoming PlayStation software. Is that good?
That's awesome. All right, hold on. What is it again?
The Andrew Goldfarb
Uh-huh.
memorial list of upcoming PlayStation software on all 3 platforms by the IGN editors.
Okay. I'll write that down later. That's good. Do like taps.
It's the bagpipes.
All right.
On PlayStation 3, Earth Defense Force 2025. I copied all of this from Ryan's.
The drop. The
That-
drop.
that
Posted
drop.
This all
every
started-
Sunday on PlayStation Blog.
This all started with Zombie Blognet giving us the update ahead of time. Then we got way behind it. I don't even know what the hell happens anymore.
I still got a Google document.
You got them Googles?
Yeah, sure do. Forest Legends: The Call of Love, which I think
That sounds awesome.
might be a hidden object game.
Wasn't that last week?
This is from the list that you put up. I don't know.
It was?
I
Oh.
couldn't have possibly made
Clemens
this
just
up.
keeps putting Forest Love in there to see if anybody notices.
Every week.
And Strider.
Oh, I think you're right.
Strider.
Yeah, maybe it was this week.
Um,
It just
pla-
for some reason I'm thinking it was last week, but anyway. Continue.
Well, you're wrong.
It might be.
PlayStation Boy.
Strider.
PlayStation 4, Rayman Legends is available retail and digitally, and Strider is also available on PS4. I'm going to be playing the shit out of that, by the way. I played
Rayman
about
Legends.
an hour, but no, Strider. Stop.
I'm saying it like Sliders. Remember the show
Yes.
Sliders with Jerry O'Connell?
Yes.
Hell of a show.
I played about an hour of an early build of Strider, and I really liked it. It's very, very fast. Very fast.
What is it? Explain it to people. the
Strider
game?
is a remake or a reimagining of the old side-scrolling ninja action game from the NES era. It's a Metroidvania-style hack and slash game with collectibles and
Platformer.
bosses, and it's very, very good. Yeah, it's somewhat linear, but like there's stages, if I remember correctly.
Well, because you're in Kazakh City, that's like the setting. It's this sort of dystopian, snowy, like Eastern European city, and you're sent in to assassinate the Grand Master Mayo, the leader, basically
you
the
can't
leader of the
assassinate
world.
Mayo. You love it.
And
I don't want to play that anymore.
And so the map kind of in similar style to Metroidvania games, it opens up as you go. You kind of you gain an ability that gives you access to a new part of the map. But it's it's ever growing. It's not really like sequestered into stages. It's all one map, but you kind of gain access with different unlocks.
This sounds good.
So I played it for a couple hours and it's really fun. But I haven't played it since.
Okay.
And I'm checking the drop because now
That's fine.
this whatchamacallit, Forest of Love. What is it?
Forest of
Legend?
Love.
Forest Legends: The Call of Love.
The Call of Love.
I wish it was-
you were totally right.
I wish it was called
apologize.
Forest of Love, though.
It
That'd
is.
be
It is.
Forest
Yes.
of Love.
Forest Legends: The Call of Love. PS3 digital. Yeah.
On PS Vita, Gunslugs comes out today. PS1 Classic, Mr. Driller, which actually is a PS1 Classic, and Tomba 2, which is actually also a PS1 Classic. And on PS2, Neo Contra.
For all those neoconservatives.
Yep.
Here comes a 3-month PlayStation Plus code, courtesy of @Fistful of Crafts on Twitter, GDRH32NFB53H. Whoever gets it, send love to @Fistful of Crafts. That was your one chance. It's already gone. Not even worth repeating. Let's check in with the listeners.
Hi, listeners. It's so good to see all of you.
Okay.
Hear all of you.
Clements.
Yes.
Obviously,
You can't see or hear
I
them.
can't see or hear them. My face is just hovering under every.
some kid's like listening to it in his bedroom. He's like doing his homework. He just looks up. You're looking down at him. It's so
Hovering
good to hear
outside the
from
window.
all of you.
Good to see you.
You've let me into your mind.
It's been a long time.
Psychomantis. Stephen Carroll writes in and says, "Hey, Beyond Crew. I'm a fan of Japanese anime, and I was wondering if you thought any animes would benefit from a video game adaptation. I personally would love to see Attack on Titan game in style. I'm reading it as it's written. Style of Shadow of the Colossus. Kind regards, Stephen Carroll.
Interesting
Clements, this is right up your alley.
Yeah, so I actually have seen all of Attack on Titan as it is. Oh no! Don't tell me the recording stopped.
No, don't panic. You just don't acknowledge me when I'm looking over here.
I'm having flashbacks to when we would pound on the table and that would stop the recording.
I'll tell you what,
that never made sense.
We have been on a tear lately. Of good stuff.
Okay, good. I'm glad.
Whole room's on fire.
Chain explosion.
This thing falls on me.
Crushes
Undertaker punches through the wall. You think I forgot?
It's been a long time. I just wanted to say, Attack on Titan. I watched all that's available currently. The series is probably going to go on for a long time because the manga it's based on is huge.
Huge, bro.
That's one of the most popular anime out currently. I'm not so sold on it, to be totally honest.
Okay.
I think that the writing is weak. It has spectacular action scenes, but the character development's it's disappointing, I guess.
Okay.
I would say.
So what anime would you like to see turn into a video game? You're Mr. Anime. What about that Evangelion you love so much?
There's been a lot of Evangelion games over the years. That I don't think many of them have come to the United States.
Gotcha.
So, I've recently been watching an absolutely absurd anime called Kill la Kill.
Okay.
And it's really funny. It has a lot of great action. So that might make a good video game. I don't know if they're making one.
Okay.
Do you watch that on Crunchyroll?
Actually, I do. I have a Crunchyroll subscription.
You can use it on your PlayStation 4.
And I can use it on PS4,
and PS3, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
No
that
PS3
became there
though.
first.
I heard a bit about this anime called Dragon Ball Z.
Okay,
There's been a lot of Dragon Ball games.
And I wonder if there should be a video game based on Dragon Ball Z.
There's a ton.
Colin, I have news for you. There are a lot of Dragon Ball Z video games.
I know.
In fact, there was just recently one, Battle of Z.
I know.
That's the one with the Goku, right?
I think Goku was in it. I actually don't know anything about
Guy.
Dragon Ball Z.
Pretty sure I've reviewed these games before on PSP. And that's why IGN doesn't review every game now.
God, remember when people were mad at us that we stopped reviewing PSP games?
Yeah, people get mad about everything.
What do you want from
It's the
What do you
internet.
want from us?
What do you want? And I don't watch anime. I read the manga occasionally.
Yeah, there
how
you
about,
go.
How about a Purry video game?
Oh my gosh,
Huh?
I remember when did I give you those or did you give them to me?
No, Hillary would give them to me. I would read them and then give them to you.
Okay, got
and we
it,
shared
got
that desk.
Oh man.
Those were the days.
Those were the days.
We had not a care in the
It
world.
feels like forever ago.
It does, doesn't it?
It really does.
Meanwhile, this PS4 has been out 90 days.
I just want to say, to get a little nostalgic with you guys, I still remember being in the old IGN office, kind of when we had a lot of the old crew still there, Jeremy Dunham, Chris Roper,
Sure.
and being in that building, and we all kind of sat in that, like, 2 lanes of desks.
Yeah.
And then Geddes and Damon were on, like, by the window.
Dark side
in
of the corner. Yeah.
Oh, man, that was such a great workspace. It was really busy and hard times, but it was such good times.
Yeah. I just love that we would do whatever we wanted in that place and nobody cared.
Oh, man.
Remember when
there were no rules.
Damon tossed an orange at me and I cut it in half with a ninja sword in the office? And everybody, rather than get mad, everybody's like, that's awesome. Really? There's half of an orange bleeding all over the floor.
Oh, goodness.
And someone's arm.
Yeah. Sam writes in with a
Sam.
3-part question.
Sam Bishop?
No, sadly.
Oh, okay.
The Bish. Still missing in action.
The bitch.
I don't think we've ever called him that.
I do a lot when I
Okay.
insult him. When do you think we will see number 1? A big PlayStation 4 dashboard update. I want to customize the backgrounds, etc. 2. When will the Vita and PS4 become more compatible? Remote play is cool, but I want a content manager. 3. When will PS Plus, PS4 start giving us big boy titles? Not being greedy. Don't Starve, Outlast, Resogun, Contrast have been great, but when do you think Sony will take the plunge? Cheers and beyond, Sam. I immediately take issue with number 3. What? I don't like this big boy title.
Resogun is the best game on PS4. You got it for free.
Exactly. Those are all 4 of those games everybody loves. Well, Contrast is I like. It's hit or miss, whatever. But they're great games.
Outlast was fun.
Yeah, no, totally. That's what I'm saying. And I don't understand like
Yeah, it was scary. My girlfriend watched me play the entire thing, and she didn't want to watch, but she couldn't
I still
look
have
away.
to play through the retail version. Yeah, when will PlayStation when will it start giving us big boy titles? When there's big boy
titles?
games? I don't. Yeah, I mean, what do you want? You want
My
Call of
guess
Duty?
is that NAC is going to be free this year. Maybe Killzone. Killzone, I think, was already free multiplayer for a while. Like as a sampling.
I could see an Assassin's Creed. I mean, you'll get Assassin's Creed 4 before too long. But I mean, like, this was the problem with them launching. Well, they had to do it, obviously. Launching PlayStation Plus with the system is that there's no games out yet.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And
There
I
had
think
to be there has to be a give and take there.
And they did a huge solid by giving people Resogun, especially.
Yeah.
My answer to these questions is 2014.
For all that, you think?
Yep.
I do think it's mind-boggling that the Vita and PS4 there's no content management there. That I can't download my
Yeah,
games
it's
to it.
annoying as shit, actually. But But they will. I mean, they order of operations, right? Shuhei always talks to us about that. Like, they understand and know what they need to do. It's just a matter of doing it.
Sure, they have other things to do.
Like maybe letting us change our PSN names. We've been asking for 8 years. So we'll see when that happens. But like they know they can do it. It's just a resource thing,
Yeah.
And Vita's connectivity with PS4 is essential. So I think that's probably certainly going to be in 2014. The Hub Content Manager
Dashboard update. I don't see anytime soon. Where are you going to be able to do customized backgrounds?
Why not? I mean, how hard can that be?
I think it's not like the XMB was. The XMB had so much dead space around it. PlayStation 4 right now has so much on the screen that I don't know even if you could go in there and put a Superman symbol or whatever.
I wouldn't want to, even if they let you. I like that it's tranquil, the music's tranquil, the background's tranquil.
I think that if for that to come, there would need to be a redesign of the interface overall.
No,
I think if they
the interface is just fine.
I agree with you. That's why I don't think you're going to see
Why do you hate the interface?
I don't like how you are presenting me in this argument. But yeah, 2014 for the rest of it. You've missed this.
I
the
do.
bickering for no reason.
Well, it's wonderful.
Something we didn't touch on, Ryan.
Yes.
Since you've been gone.
Since you've been gone.
You got married.
I did.
We talked about it a little bit on 300,
Did
I believe.
we? Wait,
but there was so much action on 300.
Yeah, there was. It was really busy.
It was a whirlwind of handshakes
a whirlwind
and
of emotion
shoehays. Yeah,
and shoehays.
How's that going for you?
It's really nice.
Yeah?
Neethi and I have been together for a long time, so not a lot really changed
Sure.
when we got married. It was a great experience. Obviously, I'm honored and blessed to have her in my life, but no, it's largely the same, and it's really nice.
Good.
Yeah.
You also put out a short story.
I haven't yet.
I thought, what about your first one? I've bought one of your books before.
Yeah, but that one was...
You weren't working here yet. Or, I'm sorry, you weren't still here.
I published it in 2006.
My timetable was completely
No, I'm kind of blanking. No, yeah, I think you're right. I think I published it after I left.
Yeah.
And it was very short, just a kind of an experiment for me to try writing fantasy, really, and short fiction.
And what's the name of that one?
And that one's called, are you ready? It's a long title.
I remember.
It's called Farius Foxfur and the Bottle of Violet.
Okay.
The next one has a much easier title.
You get that right now. And now your next one is coming out March 1st.
Out March 1st.
Tell me about that one. It's got an awesome cover by Panda.
Panda Musk is the best.
He's very talented.
I mean, you know, all the Beyond listeners know as well. I feel bad. I'm looking at you guys. I feel like I need to look at the
they're
camera
used to
as
it.
well.
Don't worry.
They're used to it.
That's what they want. They want a conversational show. They don't want us staring at the thing like this.
Hi, everybody.
They're watching their PlayStation 4 apps. Some of them in the bathtub.
In the bath? Do you think people have a PS4 in their bathroom?
Well, you can watch on the internet, too.
Someone has a PS4 in their bathroom.
Okay, it's possible.
Someone does.
Thank you for bringing it up.
No problem.
Very nice of you. The next story is called The Maiden of Sea Sky, and that is going to also be available on Amazon on March 1st. It's a story about a young woman that participates in a tournament of singers, and life-changing things happen to her.
Are they not connected, these two books?
They take place in the same world. It's like this fantasy world that I'm kind of just building piece by piece. I always kind of wanted to write a novel. I think that's a lot of writers' dreams, is to actually to write a novel. But it's so hard.
Right.
I mean, it's insanely hard, especially when it's not really your full-time profession and you're doing it for fun as a hobby. So I thought, okay, well, I'll just write short stories all in the same world, and then get a lot of practice, because obviously I've never done this before.
Yeah.
At least fiction. Obviously, we've all done a lot of a lot of critical and critique. Yeah, and I'm really happy I'm just happy I did it. Who knows if people will like it or not? I hope everybody enjoys it. But
how did people receive the first one?
Very positively.
Death threats. All it was death threats.
I feel bad. I have such a loud laugh. Neethi gives me a hard time, by the way, about my laugh, because if we're sitting next to each other on the couch, like watching TV, and I watch Jimmy Fallon all the time, and if I laugh loudly, she actually has to jerk her head away because my laugh is deafening.
Did you watch it last night?
The honeymoon is over.
I'm sorry. What was I saying? Wait, what was your most recent question? I totally got sidetracked. Set in the same world.
How much
response was good. I don't know yet. I think it's going to be $2.99. So there's that.
Okay.
And,
I'll give you money.
You don't have to.
I'm going to.
It's very nice. I
bought the first one.
Did you? You never read it.
Not gonna lie to you. Anytime you or Charles puts out books or whatever,
you
I buy them.
Yeah,
and I
support
never
us.
have time to read them.
No, of course.
This one though,
You have time.
good cover.
The-
No, I don't.
I
Come
do-
on.
you have time.
You think, who's gonna platinum Persona if I'm reading books?
The biggest complaint that I got with the first one, and I think it's very appropriate, is that it was too short. I mean, it was less than 7,000 words, which is like, a couple articles packed together, basically, a couple internet article length. This one actually classifies as a novella by like several literary institutions. I think anything, don't quote me on this, but I'm pretty sure anything over like 17,000 words actually falls into novella category, which is like a short novel.
Gotcha.
And mine's about 30,000 words.
Oh, cool.
So this is, over 3 times the size of the first story.
That's great.
How long did it take you to write?
7 months.
That's a long time.
Yeah, it was.
You could have almost had.
I encourage anyone that enjoys writing or wants to be a writer or just has a interest in fiction, just write. It's just a lot. It's fun. It's rewarding, and it's great practice. That's my little tidbit for today.
Our final question is coming from Ryan, but not that Ryan.
Not me.
Before we get that, here's your final 3-month PlayStation Plus code from Fistful of Crafts.
Oh, okay.
What?
I was just gonna say, is this Andrew Ryan Goldfarb?
I hope not. Fistful of Crafts final code is MJE63BNQLTH7. If you get it, send him some good vibes. Final question from Ryan has been lost. No, there it is. Beyond. Titanfall looks amazing. I know Greg has been playing the crap out of it. I'm probably going to get it on PC. Do you guys think this is going to be the system seller Microsoft is hoping for, and is it truly a huge loss for PlayStation 4 owners? I'm normally not the type to play online shooters, but this one looks special. I will look more towards Colin, because I bet he can talk a little bit more about this than you. I think 120% it's going to be a system seller. Like, I think just the fervor around it this weekend of them pushing the beta codes out that everyone was tweeting them, and then when they said it was open to everybody, I saw people on my Twitter feed saying they were going to go buy their Xbox One now because they could play it finally. I think for sure it is. I think it's one of those things playing it. I'm the same way as Ryan here. I'm not a big first-person shooter fan. I'm not a big online first-person shooter fan in general. I kept saying me and Alfredo are doing a Let's Play video every day leading up to launch. And in it, I give my brief rundown is I haven't played an online shooter since Killzone 2, and this one totally has me. And I'm so locked into it. And I played 7 hours at work with him capturing video, and then came home and played more. And then woke up the next day and played more. Like, I'm super into it, and I think that will be the same way with a lot of people who have Xbox Ones.
Yeah, Titanfall's going to be very big.
Yeah.
Very, very big game. The problem is that it's also available on Xbox 360 and PC. So there's no real reason to buy an Xbox One if you have one of those things, if you have a PC that can play it, or an Xbox 360.
Sure.
The game will be biggest on Xbox 360, and you can take that to the bank.
But it's going to, I bet that version's not even remotely the same. That's what I think is going to happen.
I'm sure it's comparable, and it's being done by a very capable studio that's worked on a lot of PlayStation games. So and not a studio that makes games, but specializes in porting games. So I think Titanfall's going to sell millions of copies. It's going to bring Xbox One to the fore. Xbox One will outsell PS4 next month in MPDs and stuff like that. And I'm sure it's going to be big, and it looks great. Like, it looks fantastic. I'm not a shooter fan, or an online shooter fan. I don't want to play that. But I think the game looks fun. It looks unique. But I think that it's going to find a huge home on Xbox 360. And I think it's also going to find a huge home on PC. So I just don't... If you have to play it only on Xbox One, that's different, but you don't. You know what I mean? And so I think that's going to be... The smallest base of players is going to be on Xbox One.
I think what's going to happen is that, if you're a PC player, fine. But I think that even though they're the majority, like for console gamers and what they do, I think that they're going to look to 360 or Xbox One. They'll see the scores for 360. Because, again, we haven't seen it on 360. Don't get me wrong. I'm totally guessing.
But I don't think that's because it's bad. I think it's because they don't want anyone to acknowledge that it exists. I kind of think that's why they delayed it.
Yeah.
Is because it's like, well, like, if you can't really wait, then go buy an Xbox One. You know?
I think it's going to work. I think that's going to work for a lot of people. As far as, like, is it a huge loss for PlayStation 4 owners? That's where it gets trickier. I think that if this was on PlayStation 4, Xbox One wouldn't have a leg to stand on in this fight. There'd be nothing to look to point to. And this is somebody who uses their Xbox One every day, played Titanfall all weekend long. I don't think you'd be like, I bought it for Dead Rising 3. You know what I mean? What would you have bought that for at launch? Right? It's the same with PS4 with Infamous, right? Like, you bought your PlayStation 4 probably getting ready for Infamous. But with Xbox One in particular, like, PS4 seen Don't Starve, and it's seen Outlast, and it's seen these other games, Resogun, things you want to play, right? Whereas Xbox One has been putting out some experiences, but mainly just sitting there.
Yeah, I don't know. I think, like I said, I think the game's going to sell very well. It's going to sell Xbox Ones. It's going to have a biggest user base on 360, and the fact that the game's available on 360 is going to injure its sales significantly on Xbox One. Now, like whether or not that means that it sells 500,000 less on Xbox One because of that or something is, it remains to be seen. But I just think that splitting the audience like that is clever for EA, bad for Microsoft, and they get licensing money, and so they get money for every copy of any game sold on their system. So it's not bad for them to sell games on 360. I just think it would have been smarter to have it as an Xbox One exclusive. And I'm sure that's what they would have wanted, but they're working with a third party. They don't own the studio.
Yeah.
They don't own the IP, and they don't own the publisher. So they're getting the best deal that they possibly can. But I think Titanfall is very easily one of the biggest games of the year. Titanfall is going to be big. It's going to be great. People are going to love it. And I'm interested to see how it does platform to platform. But yeah. I think people are sleeping if they think that game is going to have this robust, huge, million-strong audience on Xbox One. It's not going to happen.
Okay.
Not yet. Maybe with the sequel when there's more Xbox Ones out
there.
Sure,
you're just playing the game of where the systems are.
Exactly. I just look at it as if you have an Xbox 360, right, and you're a casual gamer or you're a hardcore gamer, you don't want to make the jump. Xbox One costs $500.
Yeah. And
you're going to buy that just to play Titanfall when you can just play it on what you have already? That's the major thing that I have trouble with.
Sure, but the big thing, right, is that it's always a domino, right? People who are going to buy an Xbox One or a PlayStation 4 or any frivolous video game purchase we don't really need in our lives, but you want because it's fun and entertaining, right? You wait for that one thing to be like, when do I finally break down and do it? And so when you see Titanfall come out, you see the different reviews, you see the comparison videos. That I think for a lot of people is going to be their thing of I was going to buy an Xbox One anyway, might as well buy it now.
Yeah,
I'm excited for Halo. I'm excited for this. I'm going to go out and get it.
That could be, but I still think that Quantum Break or Halo or the new Gears game or Sunset Overdrive are actually going to be bigger literal system sellers because they are Xbox One exclusive games. You have to have one. This is the only thing I'm trying to say is Titanfall is probably going to be better than all of those games, but
yeah,
we don't know. But you assume this is a top tier, top echelon, superb shooter from a very talented studio. And I know PlayStation fans are upset about not getting it, but presumably we would get the sequel and on PlayStation 4. And either way, if you want to play that, just go buy an Xbox One. It doesn't hurt to have them both.
Yeah.
We have them both at our house, so I can say Xbox on.
Bullshit.
Xbox
you don't say it at all like that. You don't say it at all. Xbox on. Xbox on. It doesn't work. I hate this thing. That's you every fucking day. And then I walk in and I go, Xbox on. And it works.
Greg, I don't say I say Xbox on.
No, you don't. If you start saying it like that, it will work.
On.
I just love hearing stories about you guys living together.
It's just funny when he's slurs them together the first time, and then it gets worse and worse and worse, and he's thinking his anger will make the Xbox listen more.
I just don't even understand why it's attached to our cable box, but that's for another day.
Also, I don't understand why you don't ever just use the controller then. If you hate the voice control so much, you don't have to use it. Just hit the little power button and it pops on.
I don't want to walk all the way to the system.
Controller.
It's more complicated now. The TV is more complicated.
The remote control to the cable box is right next to the controller for the Xbox.
I just don't understand why it's plugged into the cable box.
You did. When you came back from Nate's, you were so stoked about voice control. You totally understand.
It worked at Nate's house, though. It doesn't work at our house.
Ladies and gentlemen, this has been Podcast Beyond, episode 330. Thank you so much for joining us. Remember, IGN.com is what keeps the mics on, so go there, read the articles, watch the videos, and make sure you download the IGN PlayStation 4 app, where you can watch the Beyond video, because every Tuesday, the MP3 version of Podcast Beyond posts. Then, Wednesday, the video goes live on IGN.com and the PlayStation 4 app. Keep up to date with everything we're doing by following us on Twitter. IGN is IGN. I'm Game Over Greggy. Colin is No Taxation. Ryan Clements is Pwam Cider.
Hi.
PWAMCIDER.
You're probably not sick, or you're probably... Never mind. I was going to say
thankful.
that
Gold Farm's gone.
I was going to say, because you have to do that.
Yeah,
I was going to say you don't have to spell out my Twitter name.
I think Pwam is still weird.
Pwam is weird.
There are probably people who are watching for the first time who don't know you, right? And they're like, Pwam?
What does that mean?
Oh, this one time.
I don't. You know the funny thing? Looking back, all those years ago to when I first made my Twitter account, it's fun. I like my Twitter handle, but I should have chosen an easier name to spell.
I'm surprised you've never changed it.
Because at this point, everyone knows me.
No, I agree. It's fine. Don't get me wrong. It's just it's interesting that you're committed to it. You are straight up committed to it.
I remember when I tried to get just Pwam.
Yeah.
And I think some random girl has Pwam, and she I think maybe follows Britney Spears and has never tweeted, and I was devastated.
Give me your name. It's like Mr. Slime. Is
Mr. Slime.
Mrs. Lime on Twitter?
Don't even get me started on that. Actually, funny thing, we totally didn't talk about this episode that is news. Sean wrote in. He's from Morton, Pennsylvania, and said, Goldfarb now gone. Oh, sorry, with Goldfarb now gone. Goldfarb now gone.
Goldfarb gone. Stop. Danger. Stop. Base under attack. Stop.
With Goldfarb now gone, what are the juicy details on where he is going? I'd imagine he wouldn't leave without having an amazing job lined up. Goldfarb.
Well, you'd be a sucker if you didn't.
No, we can.
And a naughty person going around the bend if you didn't understand where
Andrew Goldfarb is moving to Texas to work at Gearbox, the fine folks who do Borderlands and what else? They haven't done anything else.
Aliens, Colonial Marines.
Well, they didn't really do that, right? That
Thanks,
was the big
Goldfarb.
thing. And then they did.
Pretty sure that was before he
they
worked
helped
there.
out Duke Nukem, but mainly Borderlands. He's going to Gearbox, Borderlands, Randy Pitchford. You know, serious games for serious business. Ryan, thanks so much for coming on the show.
Thank you. And it's really heartening to see people that stop by in the PlayStation blog comments and they say Beyond.
Yeah.
I always try and say Beyond back, and it's like I love this community. It's
we're
so
super
great,
lucky,
and I'm very thankful to be back on.
Well, good. Don't be a stranger. Come back whenever you want to.
And thank you for allowing me to stay quiet in certain segments of this show.
But let me ask you
I'm going to
this.
edit in old Ryan Clements audio over that.
We should edit. Would you say the PlayStation Vita is still 17 years of mistakes?
in one device.
In one device?
Thanks, Ray.
Users lose all sense of reality and enter another world. Remember, do not underestimate the power of PlayStation.